loosely at least, you had an Anglican upbringing. How did you get from there to where you stand on religion today?
At the age of about 9, I realized that there was more than one religion and that people all over the world think different things, and it was an accident that I happened to be being brought up Anglican. I realized that if I'd been brought up in a Muslim country, I'd be Muslim. If I'd been brought up in a Hindu country, I'd be Hindu. And so it seemed to be a pure accident that I was Christian, as I thought.
But it's a long way from that to becoming an atheist.
Well, it's at least, it sowed the seeds of doubt. And then I then went back to being Christian. I was confirmed at the age of about 13 and continued to be a Christian till I was about 15. The main argument being the argument from design. The world's such a beautiful, elegant place, it looks designed. So it was then that I finally discovered Darwinism that finally made me an atheist.
Hello. I really like this portion of the interview with Richard Dawkins because it really illustrates a point that people's religion is not a virtue. It's not any sort of virtue to believe in any sort of religion. As Dawkins said, your religion is just an accident. We're all products of the environment we were raised into. So if there is a God, I'm agnostic, but let's just say if there was a God, why would God care what religion you believed in? How is that at all a good criteria to judge someone for? All these religious people think that God is going to reward them with eternal life just for believing in a certain doctrine. That is really absurd to me. If there was a God, I think it's much more likely that a God would judge humans for their behaviors, for their good deeds, for their works. Because that's like what a real virtue is. A real virtue is something that you do. And besides, belief isn't even a choice. People don't decide what they believe. People don't decide to be atheists. People don't decide to whatever religion they're into. It's just their mind is convinced of it. It's not their fault. So God would have to be absurd to judge people for what they believed or what they didn't believe. So that's my point. I really like this portion of the interview. It's really, it brings home that point. And we could never know what a God would judge us on. We couldn't know. It's all theoretical. So just imagine for yourself what a theoretical God might judge you for, and just act accordingly. And because a God is unknown, there may or may not be a God. By living as though you might be judged by a theoretical God, you're just going to stack the odds in your favor of possibly gaining some sort of reward for your good deeds, for your virtuous behaviors. And anyone can do this, and it doesn't require believing in a God in order to live as though a God might exist, as though you might be judged by a God. So that's the message here. It's just better safe than sorry. We don't know, so prepare for the worst, and also prepare for the possibility that there is no God to save us, and that we have to live forever physically with life extension technology. That's the message. That's what the agnostic code is all about. Thank you for watching.